Hi there, my friends. How are you doing? My name is Ashley Bright and I am the Message Fixer. Today I want to talk about how you as an entrepreneur can go from being rejected by every single investor that you meet with to getting a $112 million investment. Sound impossible? It's not, because it's happened before, and here is the key. Well, let me get to the key in just a minute. So let me set the context, okay? So this is an entrepreneur, actually two entrepreneurs. They'd come up with a revolutionary idea, a transformative idea, something so new that when they went out to meet with angel investors, every single angel investor rejected them. In fact, half of the angel investors they met with didn't even respond. Whew, that is tough. You gotta be strong-willed and you gotta keep pushing forward, because this is gonna happen. Well, they kept at it, they kept plugging away, and eventually they had the opportunity to meet with one of the top venture capital firms in the world. And you know what happened when they first walked in there? The lead VC told them that this was the stupidest idea he had ever heard. Oh, can you imagine? And they'd been at it for years at this point, getting rejected left and right, changing things, trying to adapt, and then to go in and have this opportunity of a lifetime. And before you even said anything, the person you're meeting with says that this is a stupid idea. In fact, it's the stupidest idea they had ever heard. Well, all that changed in 29 minutes. Okay? That investor went from thinking this was the stupidest idea ever to investing, and eventually investing to the tune of $112 million. Okay? Well, before I tell you what the secret was, let me tell you who the players are. So what I'm talking about, the entrepreneur is Brian Chesky, the investor is Jeff Jordan, and the investment firm is Andreessen Horowitz. Who am I talking about? Airbnb, who, by the way, are now valued at $31 billion. All right, so I said I'd get to the secret, the key, the thing that Brian used in order to win over Jeff, to change his entire perspective from this is the stupidest idea I've ever heard to I want in, here's some money, and eventually here's $112 million. You know what it is? Story. Not just any story, but a founder's story. Have you ever heard of a founder's story? Do you have your founder's story? The founder's story is critical. It's so critical because that gap that exists between the entrepreneur who has the idea, who's passionate about it, who's researched it, and the investor who is looking for a sure thing, who's looking for return on their investment, they're looking for minimal risk, that gap is huge. And the founder's story will help bridge that gap. It will help give that reassurance to the investor that this is a good idea. Because the challenge is you're trying to communicate something that doesn't exist. You're trying to communicate the potential of this idea. And if it's truly new, there are no reference points. There is nothing to measure it against because it's a new idea. So the founder's story is critical. And the founder's story becomes even more critical as you grow as an organization. Because yes, there's the gap that it bridges between the investor and the entrepreneur, but then there will be the founder's story bridging the gap between the customer and the entrepreneur, and then eventually between talent and the entrepreneur. So you will need to grow, you will need to hire people to keep on innovating, to continue to grow and be successful, and that's again where the founder's story comes into place. So that founder's story will connect with investors, it will connect with customers, and it will connect with the talent you need to be successful. Because you know what I've learned in my 20 years of pitching ideas, working with entrepreneurs, working with founders to tell their story, is that there are really two types of entrepreneurs. Those that can communicate effectively to bridge the gap with investors, bridge the gap with customers, bridge the gap with talent, and those who can't. And we never hear about those people because they disappear, okay? So, if you don't have a founder story, or you don't know what a founder story is, or you are being rejected by investors, or by customers, or by people that you are trying to hire, then we need to talk. I want to help you be successful. I want to help you get investment, get customers, get talent, so you can continue to have an impact and grow your organization. All right, my friends, have a great day. Cheers.